Fuck you all.
Coming at you live in the midst of a tornado. Breaking news, multiple tornadoes landed, touchdowns in the area, but Cole Rogers wants the power rankings. He gets the goddamn power rankings. We are in a wild ride for the last week of the ESPN Fantasy Football League. 3 people have made the playoffs, should be 4. I don't know what Jerry did to make me lose my spot. Commish powers are off the charts the way it looks like, but I'm still close. We have 6 spots to make the playoffs. 3 are left. Andy, 7-6. Cole, 6-7. Corb at 6-7. Jared at 6-7. And even Rutsky at 5-8. Alex at 5-8. And DH at 5-8. Andy has the best shot for making the 4th slot, and then it's OJ, then Jared, then Corb. I think this is the first time and the final time at the final week that 11 out of 12 spots could make the playoffs. Shout out, Pat. With that being said, let's get into it and go over last week's results. In week 13, we had Jerry picking up another egg lowest score of the week. Did Jerry put money on his over-under of 3 eggs throughout the season? Because he might hit it. Jerry played Pat in a week, needed to win his matchup, and Pat wiped the floor with him. Jerry 77, Pat 156. What a beatdown. Jerry, highest score was Olave at 16. Pat's was DK Metcalf at 37. Let's just see how this continues for the final week. Zoe continued his win streak and pushed it to 8 wins in a row. One over Marty, 118-105. CD continues his hot streak, and Marty needs to win to keep the division in his hands because Andy is hot on his heels. Gino finally showed some points as he won against Corbs 145-87. Corbs did not show up and now has to face Zoe to get into the playoffs. Gino had Debo drop 35 and Mike Evans 29 compared to Tua's 19. Rough outing. DH bought and beat Tob to dash his playoff hopes. Chef kiss. Alex and DH both need a lot to happen to win and get in, but it still can happen. Danny, 138 to Alex, 120. Kamara, Christian Watson, and Luca all dropped over 24 points, and Alex had Nico Collins and Tyreek drop 32. Doesn't help. Rutsky showed some life and beat OJ to keep OJ out of the playoff race for now and keep Rutsky in the playoffs for now. Rutsky 125 to OJ 113. Dak and Jamar Chase dropped to 130, while Michael Pittman dropped 27. Terry McLaurin, goose egg. Bryce still came out on top. And finally, Boy Scout beat Newsmax. Andy 162 to 143, highest score of the week. I was sweating Joe Mixon and Jake Browning dropping close to 30 each, but proven victorious. Let's get into the final week of fantasy. Number 12, Pat. Still comes up short, but he has been hot. Winning his last 2 and dropping 156 last week, Pat is on the comeuppance and ready to not get the sacco. He'll still be in the lower bowl, but he's ready to not eat 24 waffles at IHOP. Pat takes on Gino in the final week and is currently projected to win 120-114. We will see who comes out victorious as Gino has already locked up a playoff spot, but Pat can still break some hearts and give Gino a worse opponent. Number 11, Danny. How the former big dog has fallen. DH has not done well with how his former team has injuries and they've just not helped him win. Puka and Koopa not living up to their expectations, but this man still has a chance if he wins big. He's taking on OJ and is projected to win, so all they can hope for is a win and other people to lose. Take OJ out from the playoffs and enjoy the Sacco Bowl. Number 10, Bryce. Rutsky looked checked out by living his lineup how it is, but this lineup is still a good lineup. He has made no move since. He's been no chatter in the group chat, just leaves. He's out. He's checked out, but his team is still a horse. Dak is the NFL MVP and fantasy MVP for Rutsky, and he's hoping it continues. He plays me this week, and it's a big matchup where we're both projected 137 currently. We'll tune in and see what happens. Number 9, Jared. Jared is ready for the season to be over. Justin Jefferson returns to a depleted roster and low vibes. He is still currently projected to be another egg winner this week at 107 projection right now. Jared needs to win big over Alex, and probably a couple other things happen, but he just doesn't want to get Sacco and lose out. Commissioner first year, tough look. Let's move on to number 8. Corb. This roster looks disgusting. Yes, chef, it does. Lowest projected at 103 and can still make the playoffs. Wow. Got to play the powerhouse Zoe in the final week, which is a nightmare for Team Corbs. Hoping for Corbs to knock out Zoe, cut that ego right out before the playoffs for Zoe, but we'll see. Maybe that's a little matchup hope of the week that Corb can scrounge a win out of the blue. Number 7, coming in at 5-8, Alex needs to beat Jerry and score 40 more points than OJ just to get started to make the playoffs. He is projected to beat Jerry, and Alex will be watching Red Zone intently to see who comes out on top and if he's in on the playoffs come Tuesday evening. Number 6, OJ.
But first, a word from our sponsor. Marcel?
Shout out Betting Zoo, because that's the only way I can get any kind of fucking pleasure in my life with this fucking shit show of a fantasy team.
OJ is faltering. Such good chances at getting in and ruining lives through a desktop computer, but now he's on the outside looking in. Win and you're in. That's the mindset OJ needs to have. Beating DH is going to be a tough ask. Maybe he'll send a message through the fantasy app and say, DH, let me slide that win. I'll slide you some winnings. Let's go on to number 5. Number 5, Andy. Commissioner Jerry. What the fuck happened? Where did my ex making the playoffs go? Are you kidding me? Telling the whole group chat I'm in the playoffs. I'm telling mom. I'm telling dad. I'm telling grandpa. And it's gone. Yeah, I'm 99%, but, watch me not make it. I'm coming for your head, Jerry. Playing BR, it's a tough matchup, but I'm hoping for a good week out of the squad and roll it into the playoffs. Number 4, Marty. Marty's in, looking pretty. Win or lose, doesn't matter, he's in. Matchup of the week this week, though, is Marty versus Zub, right going on. Helped himself with a Zeke play of 27 points this week, and he is ready for the playoffs. His squad may not be up to par with some of the others, but they got heart, and that's what really matters. Number 3, Goob. Goob is ready for the playoffs after just getting trounced by me last week. Matchup of the week versus Marty, and he just wants to win, get in the playoffs, and hopefully take his winnings elsewhere. Let's continue. Number 2, Mr. Team Defense is on another one. George Pickens, 6 points, and possibly lose to the worst team this week would be amazing. Gino needs the playoff bye, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. The funniest stat of the day, check it out. Gino, 9 wins. Points scored. He ranks 9th out of 12. Points allowed. He ranks first. Cole ranks last with 1,720 points. 1,720 points allowed. Gino's allowed 1,279. 1,279. This man is allowed 500 points less than the most. Team defense, very true. And number 1, slocking it up for the week, Zoe. Zoe's on one. Can't argue with that. He has won 8 straight and taking on lowly Corb for the last week. It looks like his playoff bye is all but wrapped up and done. Book it. He's off to Cabo for the week. Someone make this man lose, Corbin, please. We don't need this. We don't need team auto draft doubling down and winning again. It's just not. We don't want it to happen. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. Like the channel. Tell someone you love them. Have a good rest of your day. Peace. Hopefully, no more tornadoes.